Why is the NFL such a thrilling and unpredictable sport? The passionate and fierce rivalries amongst the players are another factor that contributes to the game's passion and drama, in addition to their talent and skill. Geography, history, and personal grudges all play a part in some rivalries. However, they all share one trait in that they cause us to follow every play with excitement and feeling. In this video, we'll rank the top NFL rivalries throughout history. Which ones do you think will be picked out? And which ones do you love or hate the most? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, let's get ready for some epic showdowns as we present the greatest rivalries in NFL history. 10. Dallas Cowboys vs San Francisco 49ers. No rivalry has resulted in more classic matches. 8 postseason games between the teams produced memorable moments and high points for both franchises. The rivalry spans decades, from the Steve Young and Jerry Rice 49ers of the 1990s to the Roger Staubach and Tom Landry Cowboys of the 1970s. Additionally, they have played 30 regular season games and have split them 15-14-1, with the 49ers narrowly winning that category. Although the Steelers and Patriots have since surpassed them, up until the turn of the century, the two teams were tied with 5 victories each for the most Super Bowl victories in the NFL. 9. Pittsburgh Steelers vs Baltimore Ravens. This rivalry is for you if you want to watch football the way the gods meant it to be played. The Steelers and Ravens have frequently served as mirror images of one another and of the working-class communities they represent. This matchup might be the most physically challenging in the NFL. The game is more well-known for the defensive grind and crushing hits than the explosive fireworks. On their road to Super Bowl appearances and championships, the teams frequently defeated one another, but they never lost sight of their mutual admiration for one another. While running these two clubs, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh have managed to cross paths 31 times. 8. Atlanta Falcons vs New Orleans Saints. The NFL rivalry that most closely resembles a traditional college rivalry is this one. This is Atlanta, New Orleans. The whole states of Georgia and Louisiana are at war through proxy, due to the fact that SEC powerhouses Georgia and LSU do not compete in the same division. They don't typically face off against one another in an NFL game. These teams' supporters hate one another, so when one team is struggling, supporting the other team becomes the most crucial aspect of the season. 7. New York Giants vs Philadelphia Eagles. Even when the teams aren't very good, the entire NFC East is routinely forced upon the rest of the nation. But don't let that overshadow this spectacular show that'll be the Giants and Eagles' traditional New York vs Philadelphia matchup. With Deshaun Jackson's miracle at the Meadowlands punt return to defeat New York in 2010, the Eagles dealt one of the cruelest punches in the rivalry history. But both teams have had their chances. As of mid-October 2022, Philadelphia held an overall advantage of 88-86 overall in this highly competitive rivalry. The teams have also faced off twice in the playoffs, with the Giants winning both meetings by an incredibly narrow 78-77 score. 6. Green Bay Packers vs Chicago Bears. One of the longest-running rivalries in the National Football League is that between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Since 1921, these two teams have competed against one another, and the rivalry has grown more heated with time. With the Packers having won 13 championships and the Bears having won 9, both the Packers and the Bears have a lengthy and illustrious history in the NFL. The historic rivalry, which is frequently referred to as the oldest rivalry in the NFL, is one of the most heated ones in all of sports. When the Bears defeated the Packers to win the 1934 NFL Championship, it was considered one of the rivalry's most famous moments. As a result of the Bears switching to shoes in the second half to improve their traction on the icy field and successfully mounting a comeback, this triumph is frequently known as the Sneakers Game. Over 200 games between the Packers and the Bears have been played, with the Packers slightly leading the overall series. Some of the most notable events and athletes in NFL history, including Brett Favre, Walter Payton, Art Starr, and Dick Butkus, have resulted from this rivalry. The Packers and Bears are still fierce rivals today, and their games frequently generate a lot of buzz and interest. The rivalry between these two clubs, which has lasted for many years, is evidence of the long tradition and history of the NFL. 5. Seattle Seahawks vs San Francisco 49ers. Another rivalry between these schools. When the Seahawks first entered the league in 1976, they were placed in the AFC West rather than the NFC West they currently share with San Francisco. When Bill Walsh and Joe Montana led the 49ers to victory in San Francisco, the Seahawks didn't frequently face the Niners. In the years 1981 through 1989, the Niners won 4 Super Bowls. After switching to the NFC in 2002, Seattle and San Francisco developed one of the most intense rivalries in the league in the early 2010s. Pete Carroll, the head coach of Seattle, and Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of San Francisco, who had been scornful rivals while Carroll was at USC and Harbaugh was at Stanford, gave the rivalry a boost. Great player-to-player rivalries such as the one between Michael Crabtree of San Francisco and Richard Sherman of Seattle gave the rivalry even more cachet. It's challenging to think of a rivalry that has seen a more exciting few years than this one did under Carroll and Harbaugh. 4. New York Giants versus New England Patriots. Boston is up against New York. However, unlike in baseball, these teams don't frequently cross paths. Their rivalry is mostly the result of the Giants repeatedly embarrassing the Patriots in big games over the years. The Patriots were defeated by New York in both of its Super Bowl victories this century in the 2007 and 2011 seasons, and more than any other NFL team, and the G-Men are to blame for Tom Brady's lack of other title rings. The teams also engaged in a memorable matchup at the conclusion of the 2007 regular season, which the Patriots won 38-35 to complete an undefeated year. When their teams faced off again less than a month later in the Super Bowl, the Giants got their revenge. 3. Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. Although the Las Vegas-based team has hopped around throughout the years from Oakland to Los Angeles, then back to Oakland, and most recently to the Nevada desert, the Raiders and the Broncos are perpetual division rivals. As of 2022, the Raiders had a 69-53-2 record, while the Broncos had a similar record, although both teams had consistently been a drag on each other's progress. There haven't been many postseason encounters between these organizations because they haven't frequently experienced success at the same time. Only once have they faced off in the playoffs at the end of the 1977 season, when a Broncos victory of 20-17 took Denver to the Super Bowl. 2. Chicago Bears versus Arizona Cardinals. 2 factors, history and virality, define the rivalries between the Bears and Cardinals. They're the only team still in existence from the NFL's 1920 inception, which took place 50 years before the NFL and AFL merged to create the league we know today. Both clubs used to play in Chicago back then. Since then, as the Cardinals moved to St. Louis in 1960 and subsequently to Arizona in 1988, their encounters have been less frequent. Older people, however, still value the team's extensive history because they have been playing together for 100 years, which is longer than any other league duo. Additionally, Cardinals coach Danny Green gave one of the most remarkable news conferences in football history following a 2006 defeat to the Bears. He said something enduring about the Bears. They are who we thought they were, and we'll let them off the hook. 1. Indianapolis Colts versus New England Patriots. The Colts-Patriots rivalry has undergone multiple phases. In the original NFL, the Colts and Patriots shared an AFC East division when they played in Baltimore. The rivalry might have lost steam when the Colts left that division and moved to the AFC South in the early 2000s. However, it did, since Peyton Manning played for the Colts and Tom Brady for the Patriots. In both the regular season and the playoffs, the two quarterbacks who would define their generation frequently faced off against one another. Although New England won those postseason games, the Colts' 38-34 victory in the conference championship game in 2006 opened the door for Manning to win his first Super Bowl. And that's it for our list of the greatest rivalries in NFL history. We hope you enjoyed this video. Which rivalries is your favorite and why? Do you have any other suggestions for rivalries that we missed or should have included? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos like this one. See you in the next one.